What is up, everybody? Welcome on into this edition of Warchant TV. Aslan Hajavandi, joined by none other than Michael Langston, everybody, recruiting analyst for Warchant.com. We're up late on a Thursday night working. Why? Why? Because we've got recruiting news to share with you. But before we get to that, which you obviously probably already know about because you see the thumbnail and the language on the screen there, the title and everything, a small gesture other than giving us $1 for a week of access to warchant.com and then 50% off an annual membership. If they don't feel like spending $1 right now, Michael, what can they do right now to show some love?
Definitely hit the like button or give us some coaches. But either way, it works for the one or the other. But we prefer the like button. That helps a lot. Um, Gene released some really good stuff on the offensive coordinator, and it's going to be a lot more coming. Guys, I'm not really that busy right now, but things are going to crank up. So you want to jump in before December because when December hits, we're going to see a lot of activity. So you want to be a part of that. You want to be in it. So yeah, definitely hit the like button.
Amen, brother. All right, so this offense needs to get fixed in a hurry. Mike Norvell got rid of his offensive coordinator, seems to be zeroing in maybe on the leading candidate. We'll see how that all shakes out.
Yeah.
Much more at warchant.com about that. They need a quarterback, though. They lost Tramel Jones. We really don't know what they have right now in Luke Kromenhoek and Brock Glenn. So let's figure out what's out there on the
Yeah.
landscape. And they went ahead and they pulled a guy from the Lone Star State. We've got our boat shoes on.
There
Kevin
you go.
Sperry is on deck for the Noles, eh?
Yeah, Lone Star State, a guy they're very familiar with too, because they recruited this kid for a long time. Tony Tarkarts has been on him for a while. They offered him pretty early in the process. It's a guy that they've had on campus multiple times. I spent a lot of time. I'll be honest, Aslan, I didn't really follow what was going on with him because kind of didn't see this happening. It was kind of a surprise. But when things kind of went a wire with Carter Smith, another four-star, they decided, and Kevin's been a guy that they certainly liked a lot. I'll tell you what, when I watch this guy's film, I love the release point. The way he releases the ball, he gets the ball out quick, and the way this offensive line's been blocking, that's probably not a bad thing. Mainly hitting into strides, but also the ball location is very good when you watch him. I would like to see more throws on the run like the one you watched there, but I think overall, that release point, how compact he is, and then this guy's a very effective runner, ran for like over 600 yards, plays in the state of Texas, so competition is not an issue, and I just love what he does on the run with a lot of different things he does. But really, that release point is the first thing that just jumped out of me, Aslan. Like it is so quick when you watch the anticipation of the routes and how quickly he anticipated is very impressive. I think people could see right there with his running ability and his skills as far as how he can really hurt a defense as far as with those legs and his mobility. But I just love that release point and the ball location. Those are the two things that really just jumped out to me when I really studied his film today.
Okay, so he's on deck. He's on the boat with us, I guess. We'll keep the nautical metaphors coming along. You did mention Carter Smith.
Yeah.
I thought I've been out in the dark filming on that would happen there, Michael. So that's no longer an option for the Knowles.
Yeah, it looked really good for FSU. The plan was, and I had been talking to people around his recruitment that he was going to come in this weekend for almost like a surprise visit. And the anticipation I got was he was likely going to commit if everything went well, all the questions answered. So he was going to pop for FSU, even though he took a Wisconsin visit before that. Things were trending very good. That's why I put in an RPM pick. I felt like everything the tea leaves were telling you was leading to that FSU was going to get him. And then you saw a shift in probably the last 14 hours or so. Even though he did visit Wisconsin, and I think a lot of that led to, I guess, the stability of what things are. There's so many guys taking visits. There wasn't a lot of momentum at all, probably none, based on the way things are going. Byron Lewis is taking visits. Payson Joseph, Solomon Thomas, all these guys are taking visits that are committed to your class. So it's kind of, there wasn't a lot of stability compared to a place like Wisconsin where there's probably more stability of what they're doing. Although they're not exactly known for their passing attack or stuff, but I think running the ball, I think Carter's very effective running the ball, so he certainly would help them a lot there. But I think it's, to me, the stability and where the recruiting juice was. When I saw that Byron Lewis was visiting Florida again, I was kind of like, uh-oh, that could be a problem with Carter, just because other kids talk and they see stuff, and I think, in my opinion, That's just, I feel like that kind of, took some steam out of FSU, and then they probably rethunk things. And even though he hasn't committed yet, I just think that really hurt them as far as the momentum they had created
Mm.
leading up to the visit to Wisconsin. I think even after the Wisconsin visit, I was told by people around him that we still feel really good that it's FSU, but I think the stability and what the program is currently really hurt FSU there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, then focusing back on Sperry here,
Hmm.
is this a one quarterback class, do you think, Michael? I mean, is this kind of a stopgap just to have somebody in this class to develop? I mean, how much sort of potential do you think the staff looks at season Sperry, and will they be looking elsewhere, do you think, for a signal caller for this class?
Well, I think I don't know if they'll take a second high school 2025, but I definitely think they'll take another quarterback. So they either be a portal quarterback or it will be another high school one. I haven't heard one that there's a strong history with yet. I hope to have some more names if it comes to that. I'm going to ask around and do some digging and see if there's somebody else. But I have a feeling they're pretty comfortable with what they have with Kevin. I mean, I think this is a guy that they had at camp. He visited like 2 or 3 times. They know him really well. They know what he does and how he fits in this offense. And I think there's a pretty strong comfort level of what he can do in this program. No, he's not going to be a first year guy. He's not going to be DJ Lagway, or he's not going to be that guy. But I say 1-2 years down the line, when you have the development and where you want him, with whoever you have at OC in running that offense, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to strongly factor in. I think this. I be honest. I was very surprised when I watched this film that it was much cleaner than I thought it would be. I was expecting to see more of a raw, from a mechanic standpoint, and I think from a mechanic standpoint, I mean, I think he does some really good things that it won't take long to translate to FSU. I think the speed of the game is just something he has to adjust to play at this level. But overall, I think this is one that they're pretty strongly sold on, and that's a big thing. Big pet peeve for me is when you're recruiting, other positions or even quarterback. You needs to be a previous relationship so you know what you're getting into, what you're getting. Not just, hey, we're going to go after another target that's really talented, but we haven't seen him and watched him throw. I think they've watched him in games. They've watched him in person. I think having a kid when you work him out of the camp is, to me, is a big deal for coaches, no matter what school it is. So them having it at a camp, I think, was a big deal.
Yeah, December 2022, he was on campus. So it's funny how things work out,
Yeah.
Got to stay involved in the game here. All right. So, Michael, there's been panic about this class and all the defections that have been going
Whew.
on. And people are like, is this going to be a class that's going to have like no dudes? And it's like, no. I mean, they're sending out it seemingly every day. If you keep refreshing our app, if you keep going to the
Yeah.
website, seemingly there's a new offer going out like
Yeah.
every hour, it seems. So they're going to try to bring in I don't want to say like talent, but they're going to bring in bodies. It seems like they're not showing any signs of slowing down and giving up on this class. They're still trying to fill it with as many guys they possibly can. It doesn't seem like they're punting on the class and just hoping to get everything in the portal.
Yeah, I think they're finding guys that fit kind of what they do. I think it isn't just bodies too. I think it's guys that can they resonate in what I want to run. With Mike or whoever the OC is going to be. I think you watch the guys that they're offering. It's kind of similar to ones that Mike's had. In his different places and different stops, even with FSU. And I think they certainly aren't giving up. Now, we'll say it will probably be the biggest portal class they've had because I mean you just got to be honest and direct. Then there's a lot of question marks in places where they have to fit holes. So I think it will be larger. I'm not saying how big, but I mean it might probably going to be larger than the ones they had before because you have holes and you have to fill them. And I don't think there's like any possible way you can fit all these guys, even if you added a good portion. But I think they will be very active in the portal. But I think to your point, I agree with you, Aslam, that they're definitely not giving up on high school. I think they'll have some really, really talented guys coming in for that Florida weekend.
Hmm.
And then this weekend, I think they have 3 official visitors. So, they'll have some guys coming in that they're still targeting, that they're hoping to, and maybe this will springboard it that you have a quarterback. Maybe that'll help them kind of on the offensive side where, hey, you got a quarterback now. Maybe you can build around that guy and see if you can get some more, some talented receivers that fit kind of what you're doing.
Yeah. Or hey, Luke, Brock, go out and look awesome for the next 2 weeks. That
There
would
you
certainly
go.
help
There
bring
you
some
go.
guys in as well. All right, long weekend coming up here. Football game, recruiting weekend. There's going to be updates aplenty over on the warchant.com message board. Check out the PRB. I got up on the screen right now. As we said, offers going out to a Florida product that's been committed to Ole Miss, a West Virginia commit that's got some good size on him. All the updates you need. Michael Langston, Matt Lassere got you covered over on the PRB. That's a premium recruiting board, warchant.com. Again, $1 for a week and then 50% off for your annual membership. Best deal of the year, I think. So come on aboard. Michael's got you covered. He's not going to sleep. He's going to be over on the PRB, right? Michael, thanks for
You
being
got,
with us. We appreciate
yeah,
it.
I'm not going anywhere. And yes, guys, I know it's been really bad, the last month or so, but I'm gonna be here. Matt's gonna be here. Aslan's gonna be here. Gene, everyone's gonna be here. So we're gonna do our part. We're gonna cover it, and we'll certainly let you know what's going on the latest. Even this weekend when they're hosting Charleston Southern, there's some visitors coming in. We'll cover that, and then we'll get to that big Florida weekend, which I'll lay down a really detailed preview. I think you're going to be surprised the amount of talent that's going to be there. I think there's going to be certainly an opportunity, but um, like I said, I understand people's feelings about bad. It's not easy to cover either, but at the same time, we're going to be there and we're going to report on it, and hopefully FSU gets some good news and maybe get some new coaches in here, and we'll see where it goes from there.
There you go. He's Michael Langston. I'm Aslan Hudjavandi. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. We certainly would appreciate it. Thanks for watching this edition of Warchant TV.